Okay, so this is my second time filming this because I hit picture in that video, so I should be getting really good at it now. Anyway, this is my AR10410T setup. It's a 10-channel PowerSafe receiver. This is a satellite remote, and a telemetry transmitter. And then this is the Synapse, which is mounted underneath back here. You can see it right there. You would want something like this if you're flying a large scale model. This one's only 14 pounds. It is overkill for this size of model, but I'm building a turbine and I wanted to get familiar with setups, so I went ahead and did this. And I got a lot of money in this model. I want to make sure it's safe. I don't want any brownouts on my receiver. So you run two batteries. These are actually smaller than the ones I'm actually gonna connect to this permanently when I fly. But you connect two batteries, and then you've got a constant, steady power supply. When you have high voltage, high digital, high torque servos and large control surfaces, and you're doing a lot of maneuvers, 3D type stuff, which I'm not doing with this. But if you had a large scale 3D plane, you're gonna want something like this. To keep your plane safe, to keep from browning out, and a nice constant steady flow of voltage and current to your servos are going to keep your control surfaces moving like they should, and not like be overloaded and sluggish. So it's really going to help your plane perform better and safer. Anyway, that's why I did this. It's just an experiment, really. For this model, I could have got away with just a 10-channel receiver, maybe even an 8-channel. I don't know, I didn't count. Probably an 8-channel would have been fine, but I might want to add smoke if I could ever figure out how to put it on this plane, because there's really not a lot of room in here. But, it's nice to have a couple of extra channels. Anyway, so I'm going to show you the bind procedure. I have my receiver in bind mode, and I'm going to turn this on. So I'm going to hit the bind button. The bind button's right here, and the power switch at the same time. Now you can use the remote power switch right there, but I'm filming with one hand and trying to do this with the other, so I can't do that. So I'm going to push them at the same time, and it puts everything in the bind mode. So I go over here, of course, just like any other plane, and bind.
Telemetry.
There we go. Everything's bound up. Check all your satellites, your telemetry receiver, and everything, and make sure that you have solid orange lights signaling that everything is bound up and functioning correctly. So I'm all bound up now. From here, you would trim out your you want to pre-trim everything, but then now you go in, you verify all your motions are correct, your trim is set up right, your sub trim, everything's right. And then you can do your forward programming with your Synapse, set up your AS3X Plus and set up your safe and all that kind of stuff. So what I noticed is, because I have bound this up before, I am getting better. I am getting better motion with my I'm getting faster responses with my servos. I can already tell. I had a 10 channel receiver in here and I was messing with it, and I mean, I could just tell it that's faster. So it does work. There are benefits to it. It's a little bit more expensive. It's like just over 300 bucks, maybe close to $4. But with that, you get 2 satellite receivers and a transmitter for telemetry. You get a power button, which is super nice.
Remaining 7 minutes.
You have the additional benefit of having a redundant power supply and extra voltage to power your servos. Am I happy I spent the extra money and did this? Yeah, I am. Is it necessary on this model being only 14 pounds? It's probably not totally necessary, but like I said, I did notice better response in my receivers. And I think that has a lot to do with just a better power supply. Now to turn it off, I'm going to use the power button. You push the power button a quick time once, and then again and hold it, and it didn't work. So I'm going to try it again. To turn this off, you hit the power button once, and again and hold it, and it still didn't work. To turn this off, you hit the power button once, and again and hold it, and it turns off. So you could also do that with the power button on the outside, but I just did it on the receiver right here so you can see. Anyway, that's the PowerSafe AR10410T receiver and Synapse. So again, the Synapse, you just program it just like forward programming on any other standard Spektrum receiver. I'm actually going to just have safe and the AS3X on one channel. It's going to be off and on, and that's it. If I turn on safe, it'll be safe in AS3X. If I turn it off, I'm not going to have any of that. I actually prefer to fly without the gyro. And it's nice to have safe because if you lose orientation or whatever, you could just flip a button and it'll give you time to hopefully recover. Also, if you were to, get distracted, bug flies in your eye or something and you lose your plane for a second, stuff like that happens. You can flip safe and it could save your plane. You take care of business real quick and look back up and there it is. So it's nice to have available if you need it. A lot of people don't fly with safe, but it's not really a terrible idea to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I almost forgot to mention the links for this receiver are in the comments, in the description below, and the Synapse will be in there, and I'm going to put an AR14410T, I believe it is, a 14 channel receiver just like this. That's what I'm more than likely going to use on my turbine build that's coming up. So I'm just going to throw it in there, and I will review that when the time comes. But the setup is the same. The function is the same. It's just got extra channels. It does come with an additional satellite receiver, which is awesome. So anyway, check it out. Oh, and some of the things this thing has that's really cool that I'm not using is, you got your voltage plug for your battery. You got a temp port, you got another X bus, and you got a place for your RPM gauge, RPM sensor. If you wanted to hook up an RPM sensor, and there's USB-C. There's a USB-C port right there that you can hook up and do what you need to do there. And that's it, guys. This thing's ready to fly. I'm going to break in the motor as soon as we get some decent weather, and you know, do some testing and some verifying all of the control surfaces are set up correctly and sub-trimmed and ready for the maiden flight. And once the motor's broken and all the testing is done, I will take her up and film that video and make sure everybody gets a chance to see it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more information. Check the build video on this thing. It's interesting. You know, I had a good time building it. It went really smooth. If you're building one, check it out, you know. See what I did, you know, learn from my mistakes. And I made some mistakes. So, you know, check it out. And good luck with that if you're doing the same thing. I'm building my first turbine, and I'm doing a series, video series on that. I'm going to go start to finish from buying the first turbine plane till I walk off the field with my turbine waiver. So check that out if you get time. And again, thanks for watching.
Engines scream, but they never sing. The wind fights back, breaking his wings. He dreams of altitude, of touching the stars, but he's grounded deep behind prison bars. Jet guy can't fly no matter how high. When he's in the air, the people all sigh. Take cover, they whisper. When he takes the wheel, the ground feels safer. The fear is real. High up blues, they haunt his soul. The sky's his lover, but she's ice cold. Jet guy's heart, it's a runaway train, chasing the heavens, crashing again. Jet guy can't fly no matter how high. The sky's got rules and he can't comply. Brian and the brothers, they glide with ease. Jet guy just cries, brought down